Today is a Diecast video day, but the video itself is going to be something we haven't done before. Don't go away. Hello everybody and welcome to Fat Guy Productions. I am Paul, coming to you as always from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And today is indeed a Diecast video day, but it's going to be something we haven't done before. Let me explain. We're not going to really restore a Diecast car today, but we're going to be talking about Diecast cars. First, what I want to do is I want to show you a Diecast car that I did, and I lost all the footage to it. Okay, it was a Matchbox crash truck, and it was in the middle of me transitioning computers and cameras and software and all that. And when I thought I was recording, I was getting blank screens. So yeah, I'm going to show you that casting so it doesn't go completely to waste. And it came out pretty cool, so I want to share that with you. But also, my friend Ken. Now, you know about Ken. Ken, do I have something of his? Well, okay, you've seen some videos where I've done some stuff for Ken, and Ken always sends me the impossible projects. So today is my chance to get back at Ken. Okay, it's a little payback. Okay, so I'm kind of excited about that. And we're just going to kind of look at a couple other cars that I have in the works, and you can give me some feedback on, okay? So let's start by rolling out my Matchbox crash truck. Oh, ooh, rolls good. Okay, here it is. My Matchbox crash truck. Now, as you know, these little crash trucks, they're a dime a dozen. They come in red, and I decided to make mine look more like a modern day crash truck. Clark County Fire Department, my fire department, Red Dog 44 is what we had one of ours labeled on. But, you know, I did the normal restoration. I took the thing apart. I gave it the paint job. I detailed up the back here. Put some fresh decals on it. Put some little blue rhinestones on the front. And I'm going to show you some really nice up-close pictures here so you can see this thing up close. I think it came out really neat. I didn't bother replacing the hose or the ladder on the roof. You know, this was just a fun little project, and I think it came out really cool, and I'm sad that you didn't get to see it. I wanted to point out something, though. Rather than take all of these wheels off and put them all back on, I didn't. It's a little dirty under there. I need to clean that out. I don't know what happened there. I think that might have been from polish or something like that, but the base looked fantastic, so I left it alone. There was no reason to do it. So, you know, you don't have to redo every single little piece. You know, do the things that there's a reason for. But, so here's the crash truck. You didn't get to see the video because it doesn't exist. But I wanted you to see the crash truck, and I'll take some good pictures, and we'll run a little montage right now so you can see it up close and personal and see the truck. But this is the first thing I wanted to share with you is this little crash. I think it came out great. So, you know, I think it came out great, you know, and if you like it, make sure you put a comment down below. Or if you think maybe I made a mistake with it or whatever, you know, talk to me. Tell me about my crash truck. All right, so let's put this back over here. Okay. Now, I want to show you this little box. This was sent to me by Ken. I'm going to send this back after I'm done here. And inside is a little treasure. Ken has been wanting to restore a car for a while, but, you know, I think he kept doubting himself, and he finally went ahead and did it. And I'm super proud of the fact that to think that maybe I had a little bit to do with that because, you know, he watches my channel. He's a great subscriber, and maybe I motivated him a little bit. But he finally restored a car, and he asked me to review it. Big mistake, Ken. Big mistake. Because now I can get back at you for all the projects you've asked me to do that have just really squashed my nards. And so now I can get back at you a little bit by reviewing this. All kidding aside, though, I did tell Ken I would be happy to review his car, but I'm going to give everybody the unvarnished truth because I think you can all learn from the truth, and especially from somebody who's doing their first casting. We can see together what they did right, what they did wrong, what they could do better, and my opinion on it. And remember, this is just my opinion, okay? And I'm going to try and leave design and stuff like that out of it and just talk about it from a technical aspect. But let's take a look at Ken's first restoration. Right. First of all, I love the fact that he sent it to me in this little box. I think that's pretty fun. Okay, let's get this. I'll be careful with it. All right, this is awesome. Okay, it is a Roadmaster Impy Supercar Imperial in 1/73rd scale. It says Lone Star maiden name. Okay, let's just take a quick general look, and we can break it down even further. Okay, my first thought is awesome, Ken. Seriously, awesome, okay? And yes, I see tons of stuff that you could do better and will do better. But you did it. And that is the first step to success, is just getting in there, okay? You know, it's easy to sit on the sidelines and never take that chance. And you did. And you got a cool, fun little car here. Very fun. I really enjoy it. Awesome. Totally unique looking. I'm digging it. And I happen to... He explained some of the things to me. So I do happen to know some of the details about it. He did the rag top back here. Couldn't find a piece of glass that would work. He tried, so it doesn't have a piece of glass in it. He made the cool taillights back here, and all in all, I'd say he did a really good job. Very fun. So now let's go ahead and pick it apart. All right, Ken, so here's my thoughts on the first thing, and this is right out of the bat, and it's going to be a negative, okay? So I'm just going to take them as they come into my head, whether they be negatives or positives. And the first thing out of my head is you overshot. And what do I mean by that? This was a really aggressive choice for a first build. You bit off so much that I think you would have been better served starting simpler. Let me find an example here. Just wrapped this video up here. This is my turbo fire. Okay? All it needed was essentially a paint job. Okay, I had to take it apart. I popped new wheels on and off. Simple. The glass was solid. It just polished it up and dipped it in gauzy, and it just needed really a paint job. This is the kind of casting I would suggest any first-timer take on, is something that's simpler. Okay, when you start talking about scratch building and two-tone paint jobs or working, you know, this has got a working hood and working doors and all this other stuff. I think it can be overwhelming. And here's the problem with that. If it becomes too difficult for you, or you're dissatisfied with the results, you may not come back to it. All right? Whereas if you start with something simple and you get a fantastic result out of it, you're going to go, that was fun. I enjoyed that. I love the way it came out. Let me do that. Now, Ken, in your defense, you did a pretty admirable job here with this really difficult to do casting. But I still think it was a mistake to choose something this difficult to start with. I think you should have started much, much simpler. Let's see here. Okay, your paint job. It's solid. It's smooth. I don't see any runs in it. It's consistent, but it's got orange peel in it. And that really is just a product of practice. Okay, there's no substitute for practice. You've got to be able to learn to be able to see the paint. Now, I'm assuming, Ken, and I don't remember if we talked about this, I'm assuming you used a rattle can to paint this, and that makes it even harder to smooth out your paint. But I don't say that there's really anything you personally did wrong other than not having enough practice behind the nozzle, so to speak. So I think this is a very good first-time paint job. It will get better as you continue to build cars. So, yeah, that's where I'm at on the paint job. I love the color. It fits the car wonderfully, and that's part of my thing. Is some people have horrible taste in cars. They start slapping stuff on left and right, and they have no vision as to what it is that they're trying to do. And clearly, Ken, you had a vision here, and I think that is a huge thing, and it's not something you can learn or be taught. You either have it or you don't. But I love the color, and as far as the texture of the paint, I think it's just a matter of practice. And I would strongly push anybody using rattle cans, unless you're Jim Silva, who is like the wizard of rattle cans. I would push anybody to try and get into airbrushing, because I think you get better results. Again, unless you're Jim Silva. The top. I love the challenge that you gave yourself of making the top. But I'm looking at the fit of it, and it looks like maybe you could have done a little bit more work to make it fit a little better. Maybe a little more sanding and trimming, because it kind of pops a wheelie up there. Whereas maybe you could have either filled it with something or done a little more sanding to it to make it fit down better, or maybe even filed down the casting just to make that fit a little bit better. And doing a lot of talking, so I'm going to take a drink here. It's hard for me to ignore the fact it doesn't have a windshield. And I know you tried, but that really bothers the hell out of me. And it's nothing you could do except choose a different casting, you know. Maybe you could buy a junk lot that is this car that's equally or worse than this one, so you could get the windshield for it. I don't know, but that really drives me insane. But you know, there's not really, if you don't have it, you don't have it, you know. You can make a windshield for something like this. This is the crash truck I just showed you, and you could just take some clear packaging, cut it to size, bend it here, super glue it in, and you got a windshield. And that would work fine. But this is a windshield that has compound curves in it and stuff, and you're really not going to be able to make a windshield like that. The best you can do is either get a replacement or maybe retrofit a different windshield that's close, that maybe you can reshape a little bit and then polish out. I don't know. But that drives me nuts. I'm sorry. I think you needed a windshield. I love the fact that you were able to do this and keep the working features working. You've got the doors working. Great job on that. And you got the hood. Hoods are always hard to open. So that is fantastic. The engine is silver. There's not a bunch of overspray on it. Good job. Okay. Interior looks nice. I love the white with the light blue, the sky blue. Fantastic. Let's talk about the tail lights. They're really big. Okay, I think they needed to be smaller, and I know you were scratch building, and I admire that part of it. And I love the unique styling of them, but they're too big, and I would have tried to find something smaller myself. And then let's see here. You could have maybe taken a paintbrush and painted some of that blue on the inside of the wheels because they're kind of worn out looking, or maybe even painted the wheels. Now, I want to share with everybody. There's a Tamiya paint called NATO Black. It is one of the best natural tire colors ever. I use it a lot. Okay, so if you remember my P15 crash truck, the tires on that were painted with NATO Black. All right, so you could have painted the wheels NATO Black. But generally speaking, I think you did a killer job on this. Very impressive. Advice going forward. My advice going forward is now go backwards. Okay? Abandon the scratch building and all that stuff. You don't need that right now. What you need is to work on your paint. Okay? And the best way to work on your paint is through repetition. So get yourself a bunch of castings. They don't even have to be castings that you want to finish. You can just have a bunch of junk bodies and paint them. So get yourself some bodies and paint them. Or get some simple cars where you can paint the bodies up and they'll come out great. That is what I would tell you to do now as your next step. Paint, 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 and paint. And what you're really trying to do is I've said this before at the paint booth, you want to be able to see the paint going down onto the surface of the car. That way you can see what's happening, okay? You'll be able to see, if you have the right light and the right angle, you'll be able to see the paint going on kind of a flat-looking finish. You'll be able to see if it's orange peely. You'll be able to see if it's going on smooth and wet. You'll be able to see if it's going on and blurbing up and puddling and running. Okay, you have to be able to see the paint going onto the car. Okay, and that's just a thing of holding the car correctly in the right lighting. Okay, and if you do that, then you can control the paint. And that's what you really need to do next, Ken. If you do that, you're going to, based on what I see here, you are head and shoulders above most people where they start. You just need to tweak some things here, and it's going to come out great. Later on, you can talk about maybe doing some detailing on like the bumpers, maybe, up in the hood grill here, maybe putting a little detail in the steering wheel or what have you, the door handles. There's a lot of options here, but right now I would focus on my painting. So that is my review of Ken's Imperial. Great job, Ken. Seriously, I think you did a fantastic job, and I would love to see you keep doing cars, and I'd love to see you send me some other ones so I can take a look at them. And then I'm going to wrap up here in a little bit, but I wanted to show you a couple cars I got that I'm thinking of doing here pretty soon. Okay, I got a whipped creamer, and I'm not sure about the condition of this glass. It looks like it's got a big giant crack in it. I have a reproduction whipped creamer, but I'm not sure if the glass is the same. But I could possibly take that. The nice part about this one is it has the turbine in it. So I'm very happy to have a whipped creamer. That should be a lot of fun. And then I have this Nitty Gritty Kitty. And, no, sorry. I always do that. This is the Tnt Bird. But they're kind of the same thing. One's a Thunderbird and one's a cougar. But anyhow, so I've got the Tnt Bird, and these are not easy to get a hold of. And I'm excited to have this one. And it's not in terrible shape. Glass is solid and everything like that. But this pillar is bent really, really bad. And I just don't see any possible way I'm going to be able to straighten it out without breaking it, which means I'm going to have to do a post replacement, which isn't the end of the world. I just, if I could fix that as is, that'd be great. So what I'm going to do when I do this is I'm going to go ahead and heat that and try and get it back in shape. I got to lift the whole corner of the roof a little bit, push that in. And if it breaks off, it breaks off. Then I'll do a post replacement, but I am going to try and fix that first. So yeah, it looks like it's got a little bit of kid paint here, because you can see here they repainted the roof black and painted right over a stripe that used to be there. But this should be a fun casting to restore. So I've got a couple nice castings in store for you, and keep watching the channels and you'll be able to see those soon. And then last, I've got this, I have never done a Matchbox fire chief car. Don't ask me why. This one is begging to be done. Okay, it needs light, and look at the paint. It's almost non-existent. So this is high on my list. Plus, I've always enjoyed these, what is it, Galaxy? Yeah, Galaxy. Say that? Matchbox series, Ford, yeah, Ford Galaxy. So yeah, I'm excited about doing this. I've always loved doing that. Maybe I won't do it in red. Maybe I'll do something a little bit different on it. I don't know. What do you think? Hey, put in the description down below if you think I should do this in red, or if I should do something a little bit different with it. Okay. All right, that's going to do it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit different, but I hope maybe you got something out of it. I was glad to be able to show you my crash truck. And Ken, keep up the good work, man. Seriously. But quit sending me the impossible projects, okay? Send me the possible projects. All right. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, click subscribe, and don't forget to squash the notification bell so you never miss one of my Diecast or other videos. If you have any questions or comments, as always, leave them down below. I love to hear from you guys. All right, that's going to do it. I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, this is Paul from Fat Guy Productions saying, be